one sometimes hears that the root of the problem does not reside in the departmental hiring process, but that it is really a supply problem. Quote, there just aren't enough really good Catholic scholars out there, goes this argument. Apparently, all the really smart Catholics went into law or medicine or business. Probably all of you, eh? After being subjected to a really bad faculty meeting, I will concede that there might be a smidgen of truth to that argument. But should we accept the supply problem argument? Forgive me for being a little sceptical. I am familiar with too many cases in which an able Catholic did not obtain a position here. My scepticism was especially heightened from a particular episode in 1999-2000, when the History Department investigated the possibility of appointing the distinguished British Catholic intellectual Eamon Duffy. Duffy, who teaches at Cambridge, is the author of a landmark book, The Stripping of the Altars, which reframed how scholars have viewed the English Reformation. His History of the Popes, appropriately titled Saints and Sinners, but we won't go any further there, received much critical acclaim. In short, he's a historian of the first rank, one who was known well on both sides of the Atlantic. His appointment would have done much to raise the reputation of the History Department. And yet, to cut a long and sad story short, no offer was made to Eamon Duffy. So we don't know if he would have come. I hope he would have. Just a year or so before Eamon Duffy's appointment was considered, an endowed chair appointment was made at Notre Dame of another Cambridge academic. This one was in the English department here. Professor Jill Mann was appointed for a 5-year term to occupy an endowed chair each spring semester, and undoubtedly paid a good lot of your money to do so. Mann is a distinguished scholar and a Chaucer specialist. She served as president of the New Chaucer Society, where she gave a presidential address entitled Chaucer and Atheism. That would have got Geoffrey Chaucer laughing. But, as she blithely revealed in her opening paragraph, the atheism to which she referred was her own. Notably, she appeared to want her atheism to have a major impact on her scholarly work. Now, Professor Mann recognised the importance of religion, both in medieval times and in our own, but her intellectual suppositions were quite at odds with a Catholic worldview. Towards the conclusion of her address, she says, quote, if you believe, as I do, that there's nobody here but us chickens, then you also believe that there is no predetermined or transcendental truth. Continuing to quote Professor Mann, I agree with Richard Rorty and Stanley Fish that truth is not something we discover, but something we make. For her, quote, the dangerous people are not those who say there is no absolute truth, but those who say there is and that they know what it is. End of quote. Well, take that, Pope John Paul II and Veritatis Splendor. What are we to make of this quotation from Ex Corde Ecclesiae on Catholic universities, which says it is the honour and responsibility of a Catholic university to consecrate itself without reserve to the cause of truth? Perhaps such views as Professor Mann held might have troubled some of the folks who approved her hire up the academic food chain. They troubled a few hardy souls in the English department, but they were overwhelmingly outvoted. But the chance to make a notable appointment which would increase Notre Dame's visibility among our secular peers won out. Hiring an individual who might in certain ways undermine our true mission took a back seat to the payoff, so to speak, in terms of academic prestige and so forth. Regrettably, appointments like Jill Mann's suggest that prestige trumps Catholic mission in the hiring process.